Hello, good day and welcome to our next tutorial. Today we are going to learn how to do implementing VPN solutions on Windows Server 2008. So let's begin by adding a role. So I'm going to go on add a role. So I'm going to roles, add roles. I'm going to click next. I'm going to click on network policy and access services. It's a brief description of what network policy and access services do. Provides network policies, service, server, router and remote access, health and registration authority, and host credential authorization protocol, which helps safeguard the health and security of your network. Okay, I'm going to click next. Click next again. You're going to click on routing and remote access service, remote access service and routing. I'm going to click on network policy server. Click next again. I'm going to install this rule now. Click on install. Okay, so our installation has completed. Installation will succeed in network policy and access services. Following roles services will install network policy server and router and remote access services, remote access service and routing. Okay, so I'm going to close this now. I'm going to go on start. I'm going to go on administrative tools. I'm going to go on routing and remote access. Click on that. Open this up a little bit here for you. Okay, so I'm going to configure the routing and remote access server here. So I'm going to right click. This is the rule we just installed. So I'm going to right click on that. I'm going to click on configure and enable routing. Alright, so welcome to routing and remote access server setup wizard. So I'm going to click next here. I'm going to leave this on remote access here, dial up or VPN. Click next again. I'm going to click on VPN and click next. Okay, I did this basically to show you that what this says and what we must do. Less than 2 network interfaces were detected on this machine. For standard VPN server configuration, at least 2 network interfaces is needed to be installed. Please use a custom configuration path install. Okay, so I'm going to go back now. It's asking us to use this one because it will be best suited for our server. So I'm going to click next. I'm going to click on VPN access. I'm going to click next again and finish. Okay, routing and remote access has created a default connection request policy called Microsoft Routing and Remote Access Service Policy to ensure that this new policy does not conflict with existing network policy server. Connection request policies. Open the NPS console and verify that it's configured properly. Click OK. Okay, the routing and remote access service is ready to use. Click start on this. Right, routing and access service is initialized and finish. Okay, just now finish. Click on this here for you. Go on my drop down. See my network interface, ports, remote access clients, login and policies, IPv6, IPv4, and IPv6. Okay. So we're gonna go on ports. We're gonna right click on ports. We're gonna go on properties. We're gonna configure this port here. We're gonna configure it to 25. Make the number to 25. Okay, and one is gonna come up, but for this specific task we're gonna do, we're gonna leave it as 25. Okay, I'm gonna click yes, and I'm gonna go on my L2 TP. I'm gonna go and configure that to 25. Click OK, yes, and apply. Okay, So now we're gonna go on administrative tools, go on network policy here, network policy server. Okay, you're gonna go on policies, go and click on network policies, click right click, we're gonna go on new, I'm gonna name this VPN policy. You can name this anything you want. You can name that in the VPN policy. I'm gonna put this as remote access server VPN dial-up. Click next now. I'm gonna add all conditions. Click add. Okay, so we're gonna add a condition here. I'm just gonna scroll down here. I'm gonna go on tunnel type. I'm gonna click on layer 2 tunneling protocol and point to point tunneling protocol PPTP. Okay, I'm gonna click OK. I'm gonna click next. Access granted. Click next again. I'm gonna untick these three here. User can change password after it has expired. Microsoft encrypted authentication. I'm gonna untick those two, and once you untick those two, this one automatically unticks for itself. So I'm gonna click next again. Now on the constraints, we're gonna put on all constraints as day and time restrictions. I'm gonna go on day and time restrictions, allow access, click on edit. I'm gonna choose my time. I want my users to not have access to this. 6 to 10, deny, and on Friday, deny. So these are the times they are denied to use our VPN. So I'm gonna click OK. Click next. Okay. I'm gonna go on encryption, untick basic, strong, and no encryption. I'm gonna leave the strongest encryption. MPPE 128-bit. I'm gonna leave that on. I'm gonna click next again. I'm gonna click finish. Okay, as you can see, my VPN policy has been enabled. 3 processing will grant access. Okay, slide this down a little bit for you to see. Slide access, and that's it. Well, now I'm gonna go on my Vista client here. Click on this and go on my Vista client. So I'm gonna go on my Vista client. I'm gonna click on start here. I'm gonna click connect to. Set up in connection or network. Select on that. Connect to a workplace. Click next. I'm going to use my internet connection VPN. Set up an internet connection later. Alright, I'm going to put in my IP address 192.168.0.1. I'm going to name my destination name here, Supra Lab /. Click next. Okay, I can't use that, so I can just space out that there. Click next. Username, I'm gonna put in a username. I'm gonna use administrator, but that is one of the most common name to get into access to places, so that's not suited for a work environment or for a VPN connection that needs securing. Okay, so it's good to use like actual clients names, so knowing that each client has their own password, so they could be able to access the VPN. Okay, but I'm gonna use administrator today. Please excuse the noises, please. Administrator. password. Okay, and I'm gonna put in my domain too. Alright, I'm gonna click create. You need to set up internet connection before you can connect. So I'm gonna click close. Gonna start. Gonna go on control panel. Go on network and internet. Gonna go on view status and tasks. Go manage connections. Gonna right click on this and connect. Ask me for my password here. Put in my password and click connect. Okay, so SuperLab VPN connection identifying. Okay, so as you can see, it's connected to superlab.com. I'm gonna go on my client right now. Okay, and I'm going to go on my client here, machine, insert control or delete, put in my password, enter. Alright, I'm gonna minimize this. Alright, I'm gonna show you basically that it's connected to one of my ports here. Okay. Okay. Active. One mini port PPPTP VPN2 and 2 is active RES routing. Okay, so as you can see, my VPN is working and it is active, right? Okay, so that brings us to the end of VPN solutions and implementing VPN solution. I hope you enjoy my tutorial